Jin Kazama, crazy nerfs to Jin, and it's rare that you'll see me vouch for Jin, but this one seems crazy. The 214 counter hit no longer does the spin knockdown, it gives the automatic rollback. So it's still wall splats depending on the range, but they really nerfed it, and I think it should probably go back to being -9 on block with this nerf.
214 change the opponent's behavior upon counter hit. I'm assuming we're back to Tekken 7, where it does nothing on counter hit. I assume, and it's still -10. That's a huge nerf.
For 8 hours straight, I played Tekken 8 yesterday, fighting all sorts of crackheads with my one and only nerf Jin. Now, before I even start, because I know people are going to show up in the comments saying that I'm downplaying Jin, it's my main character, but the character is strong, but I think they nerfed him in some spots and changed some things that should have not have been changed. So while I was playing ranked for my 8 hours straight, having no life, I was moving between Tekken God and Tekken God Supreme. As of right now, it seems like that's my limit. I'm going to try to push past it, but we'll see what happens. The main thing I want to talk about is 214, his lows, and his Zen cancel. Only those 3 things. Overall, I still think the character is pretty much fine. Good combos, good damage, good throw breaks, good throw game, and overall good tools. So that's not like he's trash. I'm not trying to say the character is bad or anything. I just feel like some of the changes they made to the character is kind of missing sight of what he should be, in my opinion. So the most recent one, let me reset this. And the one I want to talk about the most, as I said before, is 214. So, no delay. The first 2 hits are -3. You can use that to enforce his pressure. So, after the first 2 hits, if I try to attack, it gives him a counter hit knockdown. But the move is -10 on block, so it seems like this is fair. In previous season, it used to give a counter hit knockdown. So, let me see if I can stop it. I don't have counter hits turned on. For those of you that don't know, in previous seasons, I used to get this. I used to knock down, now I can't do it. Bruh. That's nice. Start recording for YouTube and my inputs don't even work. So I used to give that knockdown, counter hit follow up, just like that. And this season, it feels like there's no point to using the move because it's just, I'm not even hitting a button when I roll away to get up. The game automatically makes me get up, and there's so much pushback that the Jin player can't enforce any pressure right here. So for me knowing that you're going to mash a button and putting myself at -10, because at -10, you're getting punched in the face like this, that's a punish. You're getting no pressure, and then your opponent just flies away from the screen. That really hurts his poking game, and Jin is supposed to be a poking character. It's at the point where you want to hit this move without a counter hit so you can enforce your pressure. Because at least when it's not a counter hit, you can keep on attacking. When it's a counter hit, they just fly away. And I don't think that's good. And they didn't patch its other weakness, which is the fact that if it's delayed, you can step it. So it still has this weakness, with it being -10 on block. So you can still use movement to beat it if you get a nice read. Like, one thing I've always been saying is that it's okay to nerf a character, but make sure that you don't over nerf them and make a move like underwhelming to use. You can still step it, and it's -10 on block, and its only advantage is the fact that I fly away. I use instant transmission, and I get away from my opponent like that. And then they can't really enforce pressure. So in my opinion, if you want to make this move balance, either make it -9 like it used to be, or revert it to the Tekken 7 iteration where it didn't do anything on counter hit. Nothing at all. And that didn't feel too overpowered. It was still safe, but it was only a pressure tool. If you attacked into it, that was your fault, but you weren't losing any health. Guaranteed. It was just a pressure tool. And that was it. And you can still step it in Tekken 7. You still have the weakness of like if it was delayed, you can step it, but it wasn't too overpowered. They should have never touched this move in the first place. It should have just been boom boom. You get hit. It's safe, but I lose my turn, and nothing happens on counter hit. Return the identity that like he's a poking character, but I don't know why they changed it. It doesn't really make any sense. Next thing I want to look at is a compilation of his lows. So the main lows I even use in the fight is Hell Sweep. With the Oki change, it's kind of hard to enforce. Pressure, you can just get up and block everything. Like nothing is really guaranteed in this spot. Let me see. Yeah, nothing is really guaranteed. They can get up and block the low. They can get up. It's like fake Oki. Nothing is really guaranteed. Then you have down back 4. Maybe I should turn on counter hit so you can see what I mean. He doesn't get anything on counter hit for any of his good lows. This doesn't do anything on counter hit. It just gives you frames. This does the same thing on counter hit. Even the first hit, nothing happens. He just knocks you down on counter hit. This doesn't do anything on counter hit. This doesn't do anything on counter hit. And if this other low, none of them does anything important on counter hit, apart from this one. But this is a nerf, in my opinion, because in previous seasons, when you landed this move, it would give them a knockdown. It would give you a knockdown, right? And you would get like a guaranteed CD1. It would put them on the floor, you get a CD1. And that was it. This wasn't a low that you would throw out and neutral as a 50-50. It would be a low where if you duck that high, that like continue to have more high hits, like something like this. Like Hwoarang's flappy kicks, for example. Where if you get up into the high, there's be a chance that you could get launched completely. So with the fact that it leaves you in crouch, you would use it to get under high strings that have multiple highs in it. But now the guaranteed follow-up is gone because it puts you into stance. It puts you into stance, and that's how they buffed it. But now I don't get any guaranteed damage. This is another 50-50. I don't think everything in the game needs to be a 50-50. So in my opinion, I know everybody hates down 2. It was the bane of their existence in season 1, because it used to give a full combo. You hit it down 2, you'd be doing damage like this in season 1, and nobody likes that. But with it being nerfed, it's fine, it's okay. But I feel like at least his down back 4 should go back to giving a counter hit knockdown, not a counter hit launch. Just like it knocks them down and you get like maybe a guaranteed CD1, but you'd have to do the electric version, so there'd be like a little bit of execution behind it, and I think that would be fair. The last thing I'm gonna look at for now for Jin is his Zen cancel. Now, in Tekken 7, and I'm pretty sure in Tekken Tag 2, I don't go back that far, I'm not 40 years old, but you'd be able to cancel his Zen stance by hitting down forward and then back really fast. Like it'd be like you're doing a wave dash. Like this is the wave dash. You see how you go down, but you can cancel it like this. Effectively, it would make his Zen safe, but it was like locked behind execution. You're not picking up Jin and doing his old Zen cancel on day 1. That's something you'd have to practice. And if you ever saw a Jin player and you're fighting them and they do a Zen and you try to check them with a 13 frame mid and they blocked it by canceling perfectly, you'd realize like, oh, this dude knows exactly what he's doing. But now that's completely out the game. You have to cancel it by tapping down forward and then up, and then you leave yourself open to getting hit. It's not a complete fail safe of blocking a fast mid when you go for this move into Zen. So then they turned this move, his Zen from forward 4 into a counter hit fish into it. Because why would you go into Zen now? You can get an easy combo by just doing a regular forward 4. You can just do this and pick up. It's not difficult. Or you can go for a little bit more difficult option and get a decent combo. But they low-key ruined his Zen stance. Now the little gimmick that I like to call it is this. Record it. And this. So the down forward one beats the uppercut, but it loses to. I'll show you what I mean. You can float the uppercut like this with the down forward one, but if the Jin player goes with the armor and you do a down forward one, you get hit by the power crush. So that's the 50-50. They took it away from being a stance that you need execution to implement and to hit confirm it to continue your pressure into it being a 50-50 stance. Simplifying the characters to a small margin when it has the most important stances to a 50-50. I don't really think that makes any sense. And it overall takes away from the character's identity. Like, cool. See? My jab's getting completely crushed. If I do the jab and it's the power crush, then... oops. I can definitely get a combo. But if I do the jab and he goes for the scraper, I get launched. So it then becomes a 50-50 between me doing a down forward one and a jab to beat one option or the other, and then in return I get launched. That's how they reconcile the fact that the stance, you can't cancel from it in a decent manner anymore. And it takes away from the character being Jin into Tekken 8 Jin. And then anybody can pick up the character and just do this. There's no execution demand for you doing this. And then it puts you at so much risk, because if your opponent guesses correctly, and you're gonna die. This is not to your advantage. I don't like it at all. Those are the major changes that I've seen that they've actually implemented with Jin. Like, it's okay for him not to have this, but one of his lows should be a strong tool where it's like they not get knocked down in some form or manner. Why is it that the fact that if I want to get a knockdown, well, I have to commit to this or use this gimmicky weird move right here to go in the stance to continue my pressure? The only decent chunky low that I've been using so far is Zen 1 Pursuit, but you have to go in the stance. And most of the times I just use wave dash to hide the fact that I'm going for the low. Like, if you just do it out of stance, you can see it, but out of wave dash, it's like a little bit faster and a little bit more deceptive to use. So while the character is still strong, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna call me a hater because that's what they like to do to Jin players. This move right here, the idea that it used to launch in the beta on counter hit is a little bit too much. Then they took away the launch, made it safe. You get a guaranteed follow up with this. Now they just completely took it away, and now the character just rolls back. It seems like they don't really know what to do with the move. Then I would say just revert it back to the fact that it doesn't knock down and it's safe. So if my opponent matches into it, I just get to continue my pressure. Nothing's guaranteed, but it's still safe on my part. I think that's fair. Now with the fact that it just rolls away, I gotta read that my opponent wants to punch into my string and they get away for free, and it doesn't really make any sense to me. Overall, those are my thoughts about Jin in Season 2. I still think the character is strong. I just think they need to tweak a few things around the edges and he'll be fine. But as I said before, I'm pretty sure people are going to find a way to say that I'm just downplaying because I'm a Jin main. That's how the Tekken community works at this point.
Yo. Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet,